I'd asked in my last haul video if you guys wanted to see me do a review and demo with the new Too Faced Pretty Mess collection, and a bunch of you guys wanted to see it, so that's what I'm going to go ahead and do today. I did do a demo with all of the products that I bought, which will be towards the end of the video if you're interested in seeing the look that's on my face and how I got it, and also how these products went on and performed for me. And we're just going to get the elephant out of the room right now. I feel like Too Faced really shot themselves in the foot with naming the pieces in this collection. I don't think it was a good idea. Each product does have a little band on it that does say warning, explicit, this or that, or whatever the product is. But for the sake of the video, I'm just going to call it eyeshadow palette, lip kit, highlighter, and body powder. And just stick to the actual makeup products, even though the names are pretty vulgar. That's a cosmetic brand. I'm not one to be easily offended, and the names of these products don't really offend me at all, but I can definitely see where these names will be offensive to people. So again, for the sake of, I'm just going to call them by eyeshadow palette, lip kit, etc, etc. One of the funny things about the collection that I think is trying to be really racy based off the names and stuff like that, but the products themselves are anything but racy. They're very muted, toned down, easily wearable type of products. Nothing's over the top, and like, again, because of the names of the products and just kind of how they were promoting the collection, I feel like the products themselves should have really reflected how they were promoting the collection, and it's a very natural wearable collection in my opinion. So I bought the eyeshadow palette, the body powder, the highlighter, and then one of the lip kits. I'll go ahead and start off with the highlighter. Again, each one comes with a little band on there. I'm not going to read the name of this either, but this is the highlighting powder right here. There's 0.35 ounces of product in here, which is a decent amount of product. This is the highlight that I have on my face. I got it on the top of my cheekbones and kind of the points of my face that I like to highlight. There is a mirror inside of there with kind of a little sticker with a saying on it. I don't think I mentioned Erika Jayne did this in collaboration with Too Faced, and I don't know too much about her other than that she was on one of the housewives shows, and she's married to an older, really well-off gentleman, and she does some singing and stuff like that. And I remember, I don't watch a ton of the housewives stuff, but I remember watching an episode that was on one day where she reflected the saying that's on the body powder, and she like did that when she was filming that video, and I was like, what? The collection is kind of reflecting Erika Jayne and her personality and stuff like that, but at the same time I think that they could have been a bit more classy about it. So the one thing about the powder is I feel like they overdid it with silicones in here. Dimethicone is like the third ingredient in here, so it's a thicker, heavier textured powder. So if you have a really textured skin, this is definitely going to show texture on your skin. Given that there's that dollar sign in the middle, that makes it just light enough for my skin tone for a highlighter. It pulls very, very gold on my skin tone. When I use it, I try to pick up both the deeper and the dollar sign shade. And I'm really hoping that once I start wearing down that dollar sign, because it is raised higher than the rest of the powder, that the dollar sign is infused all the way through the powder, because the darker portion of that is going to really blend into my skin tone. And if that gold part goes away, it's just not going to be light enough for my skin tone. So I hope it infuses all the way through the powder. Again, this is a really thick textured powder. I had to kind of jab my brush in there a little bit to get it to pick up. If you don't really buff it into the skin, it almost collects a little bit and looks it looks thick on the top of the skin. I do think it does emphasize texture just because it's a heavier type of a formula. Let me know if you can hear this and kind of figure out the texture of the cover. It's like that on most of the products. I'm going to swatch this outer portion and then the gold portion, and then both of them together. I much like their diamond type of highlighter, which is a baked to gelée formula, better than this. This is a thicker textured product for sure. So that is the highlighter. Then the lip kit that I got is the Polite and Pretty lip kit. There's one other lip kit, and I think there's also a lip injection that's sold in the collection. So this set comes with a lip liner and a lip gloss, and I've got both of those on my lips today. I took the lip liner and I lined my lips and filled them all the way in with it and kind of let it set a minute, and then I went in with the gloss because I was thinking if I put the gloss on right away that the lip liner might start to pull away from the lips, and I didn't want it to do that. I can see a little bit on the outer corners of my lips that lip liner has has pulled away from the lips and went into the lip gloss. The lip gloss itself doesn't have enough pigment for me to just line my lips with this lip liner and then go in with the lip gloss. That's why I filled them in all the way, because I would really be able to see the line of pink around my lips had I not filled them in and just used this lip gloss. But I do like the liner. I think it's a really pretty easily wearable, warm pink shade. So there is the liner, and then here is the gloss right here. It's kind of a peach with some golden sparkles infused in it. Right there. And then I'll put a bit of it over this. Right there. So that's the Polite lip kit. And then I also bought the Kissable Body Shimmer. This comes with a ton of product. There's 0.71 ounces of product in there, and it smells really sweet, almost like a vanilla chocolatey type of smell, and it does have a taste. They're calling it an edible body powder, which reminds me of, do you guys remember when Jessica Simpson came out with it was like an edible range of stuff at Sephora? I still have, it was a bronzing shimmer powder. I still have that powder. And it still smells with that sweet type of a smell that it had when I purchased it. And every once in a while, I'll like crack it open and like smell it. And it literally takes me back to when I just turned 21. It's like totally bizarre. But this product kind of reminds me of that. This one also comes with a little explicit deal. And then there's a sticker over the top of the powder when you first get it. It's got like a little saying on it. This is much larger in person than what I originally anticipated it to be. It's like a pretty large cardboard packaging, and then it's got Erika Jayne in the lid there, and then there's a really pretty puff in there with a glitter kind of top that you go like this, and then your powder comes off on there. It's a very golden bronze powder, and what I had done with it and what I have been doing with it is putting it kind of on my neck. It just adds a pretty like type of it just adds a pretty shimmer to the neck, and it really smells nice. It reminds me of that Jessica Simpson product so much, and I'm slowly trying to find something that's going to take the place of my Wet n Wild Reserve Your Cabana for going down the neck. Some of the things that I purchased in trying to do that, including this one, are a bit more shimmery than like the Reserve Your Cabana, because they're discontinuing that, and that was like that's like a holy grail product for me. I don't know how many of those I've been through over the years, but I use it to set my sunscreen down my neck. So let me get a better swatch of this product on my finger so you guys can see the tone like just against my hand there. So here's the powder. It's very golden right there. And when I was pouncing it on my neck, it did kind of, you know, poof up a little bit and get in my mouth, and it does taste sweet. So that is the Kissable Body Shimmer. And then lastly here we have got the eyeshadow palette. It is the Pretty Mess and Erika Jayne limited edition eyeshadow palette. And inside of here we've got 12 eyeshadows that are 0.04 ounces a piece, which is mid-range in terms of the amount of product that you're getting. And then this too has got that type of a top to it. And it does have a mirror in there, and then here are your eyeshadows. And there is one of those pressed glitters in here. It's called Worth the Wait. So if you're familiar with the Pretty Rich palette that came out a couple months ago, there are some of those same type of glitter shades in the Pretty Rich palette as that Worth Its Weight shade. So you've got, well, for comparison, the shade is different. It's a bronzy type of shade with gold and bronze glitters in it. Now, I didn't have any problems with the pigmentation and the mattes and everything like that. They blended really well. I did feel like some of the shimmer type of shades, I had to kind of, you know, grind my brush in there to get the product to pick up. It feels a little drier. I think those shades could have been done a little bit better. They're a bit chunky and a bit stiff, and I had to kind of pack them on and then blend them on. And they were just a little underwhelming on the lids. There are actually 3 shades that I'm referring to with that. That's Party People, Sextravagant, and So Rodeo. The shade Queen E and Whatever Who Cares are both really smooth shimmer shades. Those ones are very, very nice. That being said, I feel like a lot of these shades are just recycled Too Faced shades. I don't think there's anything in here that's revolutionary or that we haven't seen in another Too Faced palette, with the exception of this pressed glitter shade, which is okay. It goes on directly on a base okay, but it doesn't go over another shadow very decently. I had to use a cream glitter shadow. I used the Milani one today and tapped that on, which is pretty in itself. And then I went over it with this to get it to adhere, and I've got that on the lid today. By itself, directly over primer, again, it works okay. And it doesn't go over another shadow very well at all without using some type of an adhesive or a mixing medium. And I did have some fallout with the eyeshadows as well, so that's something to make note of. But I was happy with the mattes. I felt like they're pigmented and they blended out really well. But I've seen these shades over and over and over and over in Too Faced palettes, and I've got a lot of Too Faced palettes. So that's kind of where that whole, you know, edgy type of theme of this whole collection comes in. And this to me is anything but edgy. So these three on top here are matte. And then this is one of those more stiff kind of glitter shimmer shades. Those are the top four. And then this one's a matte. And these are those smoother shimmer shades, these two in the center. And then this one out here is a matte. And then this bottom row. These two shades look so pretty, and they're just a little bit stiff. And then this is that pressed glitter, and this is a matte. See, those to me are just underwhelming for what I was hoping for. But there are the swatches of the eyeshadow palette. So hopefully that was helpful for you guys. I think I forgot to mention that I purchased all of these products at Ulta. And if I'm not mistaken, I've seen them on the Sephora website as well. Now, if you're interested in seeing the look that's on my face and how these products went on for me, you can hang tight and we'll get into it right now. Using a Sonia G Fam Pro brush, I'm going to go into the highlighting powder, and I'm going to try to get both shades on the brush there and just kind of go through the powder like that. And I'm going to put it on the top of the cheekbones and on the other places that I like to highlight my face. Which is the little point of the brow, a little bit right here. Then using a Sonia G Sculpt 1 brush, I'm going to go into the Too Faced Chocolate Gold Soleil, which isn't part of the collection, but this is the bronzer that I'm going to use today, so I'll just leave it in. And I'm going to bronze contour my face with this guy. And I like to go underneath the jaw too to kind of sculpt that out a bit, and a little bit on the ear. For blush, I'm going to take the Nars Exposed Cheek Palette, and I'm going to take an Esum, this is the X52, and I'm going to go into this kind of a tangerine shade, and we're going to use that for blush. So I think it goes well with the golden tones of kind of that highlighter. Then I'm going to take my highlighting brush, and I'm just going to buff out the edges of that. Make sure it's nice and seamless. And then to finish off the face and kind of tie everything together, I'm going to take the Guerlain Meteorites, and this is in the shade Too Clair. And I'm going to use that on a Chikuhodo powder brush. And I like to shake up the tin. It kind of breaks up the pearls and makes it easier to get product on the brush. And then I'm just going to swirl these all over the face, and really, it just really buffs everything together. My dog. Then I'm going to take this body powder right here and I'm going to pat that kind of on my neck and just kind of get the powder out. There's a great big puff. I'm just going to take that and just pounce it on my neck. It smells really good and it tastes and it's edible. This is kind of the point where I put some lip oil on, so that it's kind of nourishing my lips while I'm doing my eyes. And it gets the kind of foundation off and stuff. It looks crazy, but we're going to wipe that off anyway. This is an e.l.f. one, the e.l.f. and Christian Siriano one. To prime my eyes, I'm going to use this Fenty Beauty 180 concealer brush. This has been my fave for putting on eye primer. And then I'm going to use the Physicians Formula Insta Ready Full Coverage Concealer. This has got an SPF in it. This is the shade Fair. It's got an SPF of 30, but I've been really enjoying this for an eyeshadow primer. And I'm just going to try to put a little daub on here. The only thing that I don't like about this is it's kind of like that MAC Pro Concealer where it's hard to get just enough product out, like a bunch comes out. So I always have too much product and I have to end up wiping some off. Which I have a little cloth right here that I just kind of wipe the excess off. And then I'm just going to pat this into the eye from the lid to underneath the brow. There really isn't a light shimmery shade in the eyeshadow palette, so I'm going to take this Wayne Goss number 18, which is a flat shader, and I'm going to go back into the highlight and kind of try to pick up that $ gold color. And I'm going to put that in the beginning portion there. I'm going to use that same brush and go into the shade So Rodeo in the eyeshadow palette. I'm going to put that on the center of the lid. And blend it into that gold color. I like to bring them up above the crease too a bit. And then again, same brush, and I'm going to go into the shade Party People and kind of put that on the outer portion. And I do have some fallout, so I'm going to take my powder brush and wipe that off right away. These names though. I'm going to take a Sonia G Builder Pro brush and go into this matte berry shade, Affogato. And I'm going to put that through the crease. Make sure I'm in focus here. Then I'm going to take this Esom S33 brush and I'm going to go into the shade Show and Tell. These last two shades here were both matte eyeshadows. I'm going to start blending out that purple with Show and Tell. I really like this little brush. Then I'm going to take an Esom G29 and go into the shade Close Off, which is a matte. I'm going to put that underneath the brow. Then I'm going to take this Sonia G Crease 2 brush and go into the shade Lap of Luxury, which is kind of a peach. That's also a matte shade. Just get some on the tip there and go through here. Without picking up any more product, I'm going to go back in with that G29 and just run it through here. This is a bit silly, but I'm going to do it anyways, because I've tried the Worth Its Weight, this pressed glitter shade, over other eyeshadows, and it doesn't stick very well. So I'm going to take this Milani Luster Light, or Hypnotic Lights Luster Light number 1 eyeshadow. I'm going to dab this on and then try to quickly go into that other shade and press it over the top. This is really pretty by itself though too. See how pretty that is? But we're going to see if we can't get this Worth Its Weight to stick a bit better. So I'm just going in with my finger there and pressing that over the top. That kind of creates a really pretty multi-dimensional effect because there's some really pretty glitters in that Milani. That's pretty. Now I'm going to go ahead and finish up the rest of my eye makeup and I'll be right back to put on some lips for you guys. I'm going to line my lips with the lip liner and I'm also going to fill it all the way in and then top it off with a bit of the gloss. And I've worn this. This is a pretty long wearing lip pencil. I'm going to line and fill them in and then kind of give it a few seconds to set before I put the gloss on. Now I'm going to go in with the gloss and just put this over the top. Not a lot of product comes out on the wand to keep going in there. So that is the overall finished look using the new collection from Too Faced called Pretty Mess. I hope you guys enjoyed this video and found it helpful. Thank you for watching. Do not forget to wear sunscreen, and I'll see you guys later. Bye.